Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and gonna be playing some more Historic today. Wrapping up the season, I'm in Mythic. I've already qualified for top 1200 in a previous month, so just testing out piles to see which Historic deck I like the most is kind of my go forward. Really like these Golgari Stompy list, the Coco list. What we have here is a Doom Foretold pile of cards. Doom Foretold is the enchantment where at each player's upkeep they have to sacrifice a non-land, non-token permanent. If your opponent can't, they discard a card, lose 2 life, you draw a card, you gain 2 life, you create a 2/2, a whole bunch of shenanigans. Basically what you're trying to do is establish like a bunch of like spells that are stapled onto like enchantments or permanents to be able to sacrifice to the Doom Foretold. This is a Yorion 80 card special. It's base black-white with a slight splash of green. So Abzan in colors. So this is something I want to try out to see if it's worth going a little bit of a splash with green, or just going straight black-white, or going Esper with blue. And one of the cards that was printed in Amonkhet Remastered is Demonic Pact. So this is a 4-mana modular card where it gets, at the beginning of your upkeep, you get to choose one of these that you haven't chosen yet. So you either deal 4, gain 4. Target opponent discards 2 cards. You draw 2 cards, and then the last option is you lose the game. So the way we play around this is a couple ways. One, you can sacrifice it to Doom Foretold. You can Elspeth Conquers Death it. You can Maelstrom Pulse it. You can reblink it with Flicker of Fate, and then reset it so you get more activations. You can also sacrifice it to Vraska, and you get a card draw out of that as well. So there's a couple ways to play around that effect there. So the rest of the deck, you have Thoughtseize, which is just a really powerful effect in black. Birth gives you some card advantage in terms of finding you some lands, as well as an early blocker. Trial of Ambition basically forces your opponent to sacrifice a creature, and then it's something else that can be fed into the Doom Foretold. 1 Elspeth's Nightmare, removal, hand hate, and graveyard hate main. Treacherous Blessings, a card draw engine. Oath of Kaya is reach in both life gain, removal, and just hitting your opponent's planeswalkers as well. A couple Maelstrom Pulses removal. 1 Calyx to help find. There's a lot of enchantments in this deck. Basically all these, all these, all these. So there's a lot to find. 2 Yorion's main, 1 in your companion zone, a couple Conquers Death, and an Eerie Ultimatum, which late game is really good because you can just return back all these things you've previously sacked. So it's kind of like a mass reanimate style effect. Mana base, pretty simple. You got 1 white castle, 2 black castles, a bunch of duels in the Trinome. 3 cages in the sideboard, good against goblins, any of the Coco decks, Citadel decks, stuff like that. 1 Rest in Peace as well as Graveyard Exile. 3 Agonizing Remorse versus, there's a lot more blue-white going around, so we want to have more hand hate. 2 Heartless Axe, 3 Wrath of Gods against creature-heavy decks. And then Thragtusk is for more of like another way to attack in. It's good life gain, and we have a number of ways to blink it in the deck. So it's something I want to try out there. Generally, it would be between that and Gargaroth, but Gargaroth isn't as good in terms of blinking. Even if Thragtusk gets sacked to the Doom Foretold, you still get a 3/3 afterwards. So we're at 99% Mythic. Haven't played in a couple days, so we fell a bit. But let's try this out. I ran this very, very quickly before here, so this is pretty much the first real feel. I went 1-1 with it, lost to Bant Control list, and bet... What did I beat? It was like a Golgari Obliterator deck. Opponent goes first. Probably keep. We do want to hit our 3rd land. If we hit our 3rd land, we're pretty good. Opponent's got Thoughtseize here. Probably takes the Doom Foretold. The Oaths are pretty redundant. Trial Ambition's not bad. It's likely a creature deck of some sort, so Trial can pick something off. Can be quite annoyed if we draw every 3-drop in our deck. 50% of our deck is lands. So we're running 37 lands, which is still a little high. Are you kidding me? Gotta love variance. I think that hand's a completely reasonable keep. Two lands with a bunch of 3-drops. At this point, really only Trinome comes into play tapped. So opponent might just be on like, are you kidding me? This is actually hilarious. Holy shit. So let's take out their lands. Really would just like to go running lands for the next couple turns. They drop something like Ugin, we'll just concede. Yep. So it's like a rock deck, kind of Golgari control. Just never drew lands that game. So Agonizing Remorse, Thragtusk. I don't think we want... the Wrath of Gods necessarily. Fury Ultimatum's fine. We do want these. Calyx is okay, card advantage. Could probably trim on these. Conqueror's Death doesn't do much. Trim on a Flicker. Trim on a Trial. So hope we don't get variance out of the game. Because opponent's hand wasn't really doing much. If we would have hit on curve, or even just like a land earlier, potentially would have been able to pick off Nisa the turn it came down. Okay, well, I'm not going to be greedy here. So let's see if we could pick off a Nisa or an Ugin. Okay, so they have casualties. Okay, so it's Sultai. I think we just hit Uro for the time being. Bring Yori into hand next turn. Seeing a lot more of these Sultai piles. Be good if we can get like Scavenging Ooze. So they'll be able to Nisa. We can Conqueror's Death on it. And then if they play out the other Nisa, I can Yori in and blink it. They'll have a 3/3, but I don't think it matters that much. If they casualties, I have a second one. So I can actually prevent this from being a creature. Okay, so that taps them out. So depending what they play out, they can either casualties like a land off us, But then I could Thoughtseize their Nisa. They can play out their Nisa. Literally draw nothing but Nisas. So we do need another white source for this Conqueror's Death. Opponent's had a hell of a draw. So this does put enough cards in there for Uro. So we need a white source next turn or we're dead. Had I known they were on Sultai, I probably would have brought a couple wipes. Yeah, we're dead here. They sack the Nisa, attack us for 9. Weird game. Those Sultai lists will probably be a tough matchup. In Standard, Sultai was like the casualties of war decks were always tough. And them having 8 2-mana accelerants is something we need to consider. Okay, Luris. I think we mulligan, no black mana. Okay, we'll keep this. It's not great. But hope this Thoughtseize can disrupt the opponent. That first hand, if we had black mana, it'd be good. Okay, so here want to try to pick off. Okay, they have double Spirit Dancer. Still think we take that. So I think we go Treacherous Blessing here, because I can Calyx and then pin this underneath. Like they might try to put everything on this. Okay, so at the least they're gonna not be able to Eidolon to protect it. Okay, that's fine. We take 7 here, down to 10. We have Demonic Pact we can get going at least. So, no, this gets sacrificed. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I forgot. The trigger on the stack doesn't work that way. So here we want to go more removal. Can get rid of the Thoughtseize, get rid of Calyx. Conqueror's Death could come out. Let's run it like this. That was a misplay. Had it been any other enchantment, we would have been okay. Okay. Trial of Ambition, very good in this matchup. The sacrifice gets around a lot of the effects. So we'll Heartless Act. So it looks like they may be short other creatures. But what we can do the trial. And then I can blink the trial and then play Thragtusk. And then I can get Yorion to hand and then blink everything. Okay, they're just going Lurrus here. So what I can do is when they cast Lurrus, when they target the thing to cast, I'll blink the trial. And then get them to sacrifice the Lurrus. Just gain 5 life here. Next turn I'll get Yorion back, or Yorion. Okay, they have Spirit Dancer. Good draw for them. We need this off the battlefield. Back. Depending on how big they make this, I can try to block. Cartouche gives a flying. Yeah, kind of popping off. I may want Extinction Event. This is a pretty prevalent because this has interesting. They shock in there. So I can Wrath the God, but it's not enough. Still gotta do this and then just chump block. If I can at least get this off, then the Wrath of God might be relevant. Wonder what they shocked in for. So they have All Seed. Let's try this. They just have 3 spell pierces. The good old 3 spell pierce. Because why not? Why not? That gains him life, draws him cards. Yeah. Not much we can do here. When they have protection from the color and that, it doesn't help. So we lost to 2 of the more prevalent decks. Like, we are okay mana-wise. We dealt with the early game, but Spirit Dancer was a problem. Okay, burn. This will be another test. So we're getting a good feel with the deck to see if it is playable. No sweeper main's going to be a bit of an issue. This Nightmare can at least hit one of these. Probably the Thermo Alchemist. Probably hit the Thermo Alchemist. Or actually, since they have 2 now. Okay, so we have Doom. Let's get rid of a Soulscar Mage. Next turn I could bring out the Doom Foretold. Love to see an Othakaya. Firebrand. With Prowess, this can just deal more damage, so... Okay. See what's hiding out here. Interested that they didn't do this to just get more damage through. Jeez. No sweeper main in this list. I think we need to revise it. Might just go straight black-white. This is 2. Free block. So we sack this. Demonic Pact's not bad because it lets us gain 4. So what you want to do is auto order the triggers so you can do the Demonic Pact first before sacking it. Dead to burn spell. Off the top, pretty much. See what they do here. Sick. Opponent had enough. So this is a Thragtusk, Agonizing Remorse. Oh, not Agonizing. Heartless Act, Wrath of God. Let's get rid of Thoughtseize. Can probably get rid of the Conqueror's Death and Eerie Ultimatum. Let's maybe keep one Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize feels really bad. They probably bring in Frenzy. Okay. We got the trial plan into double Wrath of God. Hopefully they have a creature heavy draw. That's very good in this matchup. Spectacle. Okay, if we hit lands, we're in a really good spot. For Asadon. We probably Flicker of Fate, the Trial of Ambition. So I could shock myself to kill this, but then I end up taking a bit more damage. Like this, if they... Okay, they just go Jangantha. If they drop another 1-drop, then we'll Wrath of God. Okay, since we got another Oathakaya, just do this. I'm just trying not to take damage from my lions. Sick. That game went much better. So we are seeing a lot more creature decks. So I'm thinking what we want is one of these Wrath of Gods main. Probably 2 Wrath of Gods main. And then I think I want Extinction Event. In the side. Hey Quantum, how's it going? And maybe another Thragtusk. Or probably just another Heartless Act. Against Sultai, we might want... not too bad. Trying out these Doom piles. 1 and 2 so far with it. 15. Just go more removal on the side. For like the more aggressive matchups. Let's try it like that. Or actually, something we can try out as well in the sideboard is... instead of this other Heartless Act, let's go up another Conqueror's Death. We can do Conqueror's Death, or we can do Eldest Reborn. Because this we can take stuff from their graveyard as well. We had the Maelstrom Pulse. I would have preferred if they banned Ugin or Uro. Alright, now let's do Maelstrom Pulse. Let's make that tweak. Field, like, there's ways to beat it. If you're playing enough of an aggressive deck or just proactive, Flyers gets it. You can get around it. Uro's like such a pain in the ass. And then Ugin makes a lot of the mid-range decks kind of useless. Like if they banned all of them, I'd be fine. Okay, keep this hand. Got removal on 2 if needed. I can go Birth. This could be Bant Control. Having Vraska is not bad. You happy Field's gone? Yeah, it's Bant. So having also the castle's not bad here. Like, Uro's gotta go. Like in this matchup here, the opponent's gonna do nothing and just repeatedly cast Uros. So this is another deck, like if it becomes more popular, these Doom Foretold decks aren't gonna be very good. I'm just going to get Vraska going. The ultimate with the tokens can be a way we win this. Sick. Got Demonic Pack. And they have Tef. So this lets me attack their hand. We have a couple answers to Uro, so I'm fine. I don't want to discard just yet. I think I'm gonna draw... Or actually, let's get to Fairy off the battlefield. Yeah, like that was a fine deck. You're kind of just like memeing around. Okay, well, the opponent's on the triple... Jank plan. Or triple Wrath of God. Can make a 1/1. I think we just bring the second Yori into hand. They're going to make a 1/1 here. They can't attack in with it anyways. This does insulate them around Trial of Ambition. But I have Vraska here to kill the Uro. Let's draw 2 cards here. That's great. No counter. Nice. So they scry here. We just need to play around a counter spell. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7. 8 mana. we lost the game. Because I can't sneak this Vraska down now. Okay, so we need to try to find Flicker of Fate for our upkeep. No! We don't get to draw the cards either. Damn it. Live and die by the fate. So let's bring in Rest in Peace, Maelstrom Pulse. Probably want Thragtusk. The Wrath of the Gods could come out. Trim on a Birth. Trim on a Blessing. Trim on a Pact. Eerie Ultimatum's probably okay. These Trials could come out. Do I want Cage? I'm a little bit more worried about them. They needed exactly neutralize there. And like we could have gone Vraska down tick. That was the safer line and we probably should have done that in retrospect. The higher upside play. I think we do veto, because my plan is veto and then ideally draw lands to Elspeth Nightmare to exile the Uro. And then we're just not going to draw lands. Kidding me? This deck's not working. Opponent's being kind of a dick. Kind of the problem here. Like, we don't have access to counterspells in this build, compared to going something like Esper. Really interesting they're not running out this. I'm not gonna win a